Hey everyone, it's Jamie from IndependenceStNola and Seasons and Ritual, and I'm here to talk about this full moon that's happening in Leo today. It's going to be at its peak at noon, around noon. As we know, when it's a full moon, that means the moon is opposite the sun, and the sun is still in our sweet, sweet Aquarius. So let's talk a little bit about this full moon. What was brought to my attention, which was really interesting, is that this full moon marks the in-between point between the eclipses. And we had our first eclipse that was in Taurus, and then we will have our next eclipse, which will be in Scorpio. And then this full moon is in Leo, and it's opposite of Aquarius. And so that is all the fixed energies. Those are all the fixed signs. So what this full moon to me is highlighting, basically it's an excuse for us as being fixed signs to let go and to change, and to step into our higher selves. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, and Uranus has been hanging out in Taurus, and now now Uranus is direct in Taurus, which is great. Mars, who's been retrograde in Gemini, remember, forever, has finally turned direct. And because this Mars has turned direct in Gemini, Mars is that divine masculine energy. Aquarius is a masculine energy, and Leo is a masculine energy, even though Leo rules the heart. And so I see this as the divine masculine starting to show up more. I see this as us moving forward, because that masculine energy is what moves us forward. And so it's moving us forward into ways that we can be in our authentic selves. Once again, Aquarius is a sign of the future, and its modern ruler, Uranus, is in Taurus. And right now, this full moon and the sun is squaring Taurus, okay? But basically, what you need to get out of that is that that's just bringing in a lot of information. And I feel like what the square is doing is helping zap away old stories, and zap away old ways of being, and zapping away like this being rigid, like, no, we can't do this, like, no. And what it's saying is like, yeah, we can do this, and it is time to do this. And so the fixed signs are allowing this beautiful full moon in Leo. And when Leo is in its highest, it is that consciousness of fire, right? And so it's allowing this in our hearts to burn away all those old stories and all those old ways that no longer serve us. And this is a beautiful full moon because it can just happen. Mars, because it's been in Gemini, has now got new thoughts, okay? Before, when Mars was like, in order to move forward, I just must destroy because I'm the god of war. And so it's been sitting in Gemini, and it was retrograde, and now it's like, oh wait, there's other ways I can move forward without just destroying things. I can be a gentle warrior. I can be a spiritual warrior. There's other ways, right? And so because Mars knows this about itself, it's lending his energy to this full moon. It's lending his energy to this time that we are in right now, which I think is so beautiful. I know I keep smiling. Leo does rule the heart, and because it is opposite of our sweet, sweet Aquarius, which rules the mind, so this is bringing that heart energy up into our mind, and the mind energy into our heart. Leo also rules the solar plexus. That solar plexus is yellow. It's right underneath our breastbone, and that is our self-confidence, right? That's who we know who we are. So it's also going into this idea, but it's also going into our hearts. It's also hitting this solar plexus. It's lighting all these areas up, right? Like, oh, I can show up confidently in who I'm supposed to be. I can show up with these new ideas. I can show up leading the way with my heart, right? Like that love energy is what's going to move us forward in this planet. No more, just no more might makes right. It is all about this love energy and how it shows up in you and how you express it and how you feel confident doing that. And so at the same time, it's burning away all those lower ideas that we thought love was or what love had to be. I've done a bunch of bachelorette parties where a lot of the women are asking me, I don't know if I should have a baby. And the reason is because they're like the breadwinners, and their partners are a lot of like freelancers or entrepreneurs and things like that. And I really feel like this energy is going to light up. And I know I'm using very old terms for masculine energy or like masculine and feminine energy. Again, I'm just talking about what I see, but I think it's going to rise those masculines into wanting to show up differently, wanting, like, they're going to get it. Like, oh, I'm here to help nurture, right? Leo is the heart that's nurturing. Leo is a masculine sign, so they want to nurture where they want to go. It's giving them the confidence to show up like, actually, I can do this. I can be, quote unquote, a better partner, if you will, right? And it's also giving the feminines a voice to say, like, I don't think this is a good idea right now, right? That's bringing in that Aquarius energy. And the reason is this. And they can say that feeling secure without feeling like they're being super selfish or, whatever bullshit patriarchy words that they're always afraid that they're feeling, just because they're standing up for themselves. And so we can start having these really nurturing, honest conversations with ourselves, right? With our masculine and feminine sides, but also with the masculine and feminine sides in other people, right? Again, this masculine and feminine is in us at all times. We're nurturing both sides of that at all times. Because this full moon is in a fixed sign, that fire, right? That consciousness of fire, we're bringing in the higher energy, the consciousness really of Aquarius. We're bringing in that higher energy of the future. Uranus is in Taurus, right? Allowing us to, show up differently in that fixed sign, right? Taurus is, practicality, but Taurus is also creativity, and Taurus is also money, right? And Taurus is ruled by Venus, and Venus is in Pisces, where she's exalted, right? And so she's using that Pisces energy to rip the Band-Aid off, right? To be like, actually, you guys, this isn't working, so we need to move forward pretty quickly. Mars is in Gemini, being like, there's other ways we can move forward without having a meltdown first, okay? We can just be cool and we can just move. It's almost like I see Mars like, if someone's like, before would be like, I don't know if I could do this. Now Mars puts his arm around him and be like, you know what? We can do this. Let's just think about it. When before Mars would just shoot him and move on, okay? So we are in a kinder, gentler Mars. But the idea is that it's this movement, and it's this movement with these fixed signs. So if you're a fixed sign, I know we do a lot of deep breathing on this channel, but just take this deep breath. Listen to what's coming in naturally. Listen to what, if you're, that with sticking, use this consciousness of fire to just let it burn it away, and you can show up in your heart, and you can show up in your authentic self, right? And you can be confident in that. That confidence is that solar plexus. That confidence is Leo, and knowing how to think about it and knowing how to speak about it and seeing it from a different perspective, right? That future perspective almost, that is Aquarius. So see, all these signs are working together. So by the time that we get into that lunar eclipse with Scorpio, I got it. That Scorpio, that fixed water, is really going to come in, and it's going to be such a deep, deep cleansing. And if you guys, if you keep working through this and letting things move, that solar eclipse, that lunar eclipse in Scorpio, it's going to be very nurturing. It is going to be washing away, just like that final release of all those lower energies that need to go, that are in those fixed signs. So everybody, hang in there. Work with this beautiful energy that is this full moon in Leo. Just allow it to do its thing, you know. Fixed signs, use this as the excuse we need to let go of all those old ideas. We don't have to be stubborn anymore. We don't have to white knuckle them and try to bring them into the future. Just where all the signs are, where the degrees are, it's really pushing through. We've gone through, in theory, I mean, we're all individuals. However you're feeling this moon is you need to honor that. But in theory, where all the planets have moved and gone back and forth on these fixed signs, that was, I don't want to say it was the hardest part because it was the most uncomfortable. And now we're moving into areas because we are getting our feet underneath us, you know, like we talked about our sea legs in the last video with Helen. As fixed signs are like, oh, okay, getting into this age of Aquarius, okay, we are moving forward. 2023 is a big energetic year. It is this year of the chariot. I'll get that video done this upcoming week, I promise. It is moving us, right? And so where it was really super rocky and super uncomfortable, okay, we're starting to get it now, because we're starting to bring in our heart. We're starting to bring in our feelings. We're starting to bring in our new minds. You know, we're starting to see how we can be practical in this. Those are all those fixed signs energies, right? So it's not to say like every day it's going to be cotton candy, but we're starting to get used to it. So allow this full moon in Leo to light up. Oh, it's just so beautiful. Your heart. And see how it can show up authentically. That authenticity is Aquarius. So have a happy full moon. I'm going to upload this in a couple hours. As you guys can see, I'm in my car because I'm driving to Tuscaloosa. So happy full moon in Leo. If you guys have any questions, please reach out. Also, I'm supposed to say hit like and subscribe and all that jazz, but I figured that you guys are on YouTube and you guys know that already. So talk to you guys soon.